All right.
It doesn't suck our air conditioning.
I know. Wow, it's really whooping out there.
Hold a tiny whistle out on a ruler or something and see if it blows. Lord Felton has just uploaded a new video on the various American Nazi factions.
American?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was quite an active party here in the United States back in the day.
Apparently there still is.
Well, sure there. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It was a mistake.
Okay. I was wondering because I know other guys who got to go see Mr. Gamble today.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you'd be involved in this with him.
Cameron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd probably like me to tell you that. But you know, hey. Yeah, just gonna. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this thing up here. Okay, so let me get Colin with us here. All right. So let's look at this. Not that one. Nice. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah? All right. So just going to go. I know we've talked about this, hopefully not too much, but quite a bit. And I'm going to go through these with the stem changing verbs, meaning irregular verbs. So we have verbs like, now watch the E here. You see that? You want to see it again? It's pretty cool, actually. E changes to I. Dude, are you seeing what I'm doing here? Do you see this? What's going on here? It's like I'm David Copperfield or something. Yeah. You know, whatever you're going to tell me, it can't be as exciting as I'm showing you here. But go ahead. Oh. Alex is gone? Yeah. Well, dang it. I need to put him on the... Well, the reason he can't get in is because I didn't send him a link. Is he quarantining? Yeah. He was here yesterday.
He was here today.
That's scary. Okay, tell him I just sent him a link. All right, can I get back to the magic here? All right. So I'm just teasing that. Although it is pretty cool. All right, so let's just go back. So E is one of those verbs that changes to I. So when we use this in, look what it says here. These changes occur only in the do. Have you heard this before? And the er, z, s forms. That means when your subject is do, or your subject is er, z, s, or anything third person singular, there's going to be a change in the verb. In this case, it's going to be E changing to I. But as it says up here, several verbs change their stem vowel from E to I or to IE. There's two different types. And from A to umlaut A. We're going to look at both of them again. But once again, now everyone logged in, people watching at home from across the world. It's a live stream. Here we go. E to I. Let's see what happens here. Roll the dice. It's like watching a movie. Ooh, that turned red. Whoa! Okay, first person, ich esse, that's what it should be. But this, du isst. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Du isst. What are they eating? Die Garage. One dinosaur, or whatever these things are, ich esse ein Haus. Du isst die Garage. They're both the verb essen. But again, it only makes a weird change, a stem vowel change with the subject du or the third person, er, sie, es, or other third person singular. Ich esse ein Haus. Du isst die Garage. The tricky thing with this word ist is it sounds a lot like the word ist. You know what I mean? Like double S sounds the same as one S. But you can only really tell in spelling and usually by context, of course, too. All right. Now, plural, sie essen Häuser. That's the plural form of houses, houses. So that's the normal form, sie essen. But now we're going to talk about this guy in third person and say, isst mehr Häuser. What's he doing? He's eating, what's mehr? More houses. Okay, I thought he was eating garages. But sie essen Häuser. Is, but again, and why is it the same spelling? This was the same spelling we had with do. We had this situation with a different verb. Look at the spelling of the main verb, essen. What's the last letter in the stem? Right there. The ending is en, but what's the last part of the stem? S. Right here. Can you see how? I don't know if you can see how I'm pointing to it. Is there a, here, ooh, here we go. That letter right there. That's the stem, ESS, and this is the ending, EN. So the last letter of the stem is an S. So since it's an S, we don't add another S, a third S. Wouldn't we? We'd normally add we'd normally add an S if the subject was do. Right? But now this already has two S's. In fact, even if it just had one, it'd be the same thing. But it has two S's. We don't want to add a third S. So it's du isst, but it's also isst. Only because the spelling of the original verb has the S there already. So that's why it looks identical. The same thing happens with lesen. Du liest und liest. Spelled the same way. Because lesen, L-E-S-E-N, has the S there already. Now, I think I said that these rules apply about 99% of the time. I'm going to show you when it doesn't. Well, it still applies. It's just that it's extra irregular here. And that's this verb, nehmen. We'll get to in a minute. I'm sorry. Geben. Watch the words. And nehmen. These are opposites. Geben und nehmen. What's geben? Do we know already? Geben, I think we have before. Geben's to give. So what's nehmen? Opposite of geben is to take. So geben follows the rules. Geben, the E changes to an I, and we just keep adding the normal endings on. So here's what it says about geben on the right. Gibt dir eine Gurke. What does he have there in his hand? That's the word for Gurke. By the way, the word in German for cucumber and pickle are the same word. Isn't that strange? I mean, it makes sense, but not really. There is another word. Eine Gurke. Gibt dir eine Gurke. Well, how nice. Right. I'm not a big cucumber or pickle fan, so I haven't run into this issue yet. I think I haven't been in a situation where I had a choice of pickles or cucumbers. Right? See what I'm saying? It's either been one or the other, and I just say Gurke and we're good. If you find yourself in a situation, I'll give you my number, just call me, okay? I'll talk you through it. gibt, there we go. E to I, we put a T on the end. Gibt dir eine Gurke. But nehmen, though, does something weird. Nehmen's the one that's the most, it's still the E changes to an I, but look at the spelling though. We drop out this H and we make it a double M here all of a sudden. This is just complete irregularity. But at least the E goes to I, but we drop out the H, we make a double M. Nimmst du die Gurke? Are you taking the pickle? Gibt dir eine Gurke? He's giving you one. Nimmst du die Gurke? And that's nimmst. And also, nimmst, ST, would do, but with be nimmt Is he taking it? Nimmt It's a weird one. Sprechen is fairly regular, though. Sprechen, watch here. And E changes to I. So we just take the stem vowel and change it to I, and that follows the normal rule. Spricht. If it wasn't irregular, I hate to even say this word. If it wasn't irregular, it would be spricht. But it is irregular. Spricht. What would the do form be? Do. Oh, come on. Spricht und du. He's speaking and you're speaking. Spricht und du. With ST on the end, though. Sprichst. Spricht und du sprichst. I think sprichst or spricht is a hard word to say because you have at least 6 consonants, 3 before the vowel, 3 after it, and only 1 vowel in the middle. Yeah, it's a lot of, there's a point where it's hard to say consonants. Spricht. Takes some work. Spricht und sprichst. The ST is even harder. Yeah. Okay. Sehen is one of the EI verbs, or IE verbs, I'm sorry. And with sehen, we say sieht durch die Tür. Lesen is also an IE. Changes to IE. Liest, but also, like with essen, lesen ends in an S. And therefore, we don't add another S whenever we use it with do. So it looks the same in both forms. Liest, du liest. L-I-E-S-T. Just like I-double-S-T was the same for both. This one, though, follows the normal pattern. If this were not a irregular verb, it would be seht durch die Tür, through the door. But it is irregular. Sieht durch die Tür. He's looking through the door, but really through the little keyhole. So that's E to IE. Some E change to I and just drop the E totally. Some keep the E and add an I in front of it to make an E sound. Now with the A verbs, let's talk about fahren, where we add an umlaut to the A. So in the plural here, they're driving a car. Sie fahren mit dem Auto. But yeah, it looks like a Target or something, huh?
Yeah, it is a Target.
Yeah, looks nice. But this poor sap below here, who looks like he lives in a different era completely, we add an umlaut because in this situation, when the subject is or when the subject is do, we add an umlaut to the A. Fährt nicht mit. Fährst du mit.
Singular, you add the A.
Right. Third person singular. When you're talking about anything that's a he, she, or it, that's the That's that form, fährt. And if the subject is do, it is still singular though. We add umlaut A and ST on the end. Fährt, are you going with us? Fährst du mit? He's not going with you. He's going with, okay? Now, sometimes there are verbs that have, still it's an A, but it's an AU combination. One example is laufen. And how do you pronounce that then? How this works out here. Be careful how I point this thing. Right there. How do you say that? Say it again. Läuft. Läuft langsam. Anyone know what that word? Schnell or langsam?
Fast.
So what do you think langsam is? Slowly, right? So if I haven't told you this, that's okay. In German, there's no difference between adjectives and adverbs. You don't have to add an ly or think about, is that modifying a verb or the noun, or don't have to worry about that. Yeah, adverbs and adjectives work the same. So so we'd say he walks slowly, and then, but
I would just say he walks slow.
that's right. Yeah, basically. Yeah, and he walks quickly would be the best way. But not all of us use it that way. But he walks quick. But we kind of do it already in English anyway, right? In American English, we kind of drop this. Not everybody, but I try to do it right in English as best I can. I should say I try to do it correctly. I need a drum in here. Can I get a drum? I know where there's some drums. Okay. Yeah, I got some drums. I got a cymbal and everything. I'll keep sticks in my hand all day. So anyway, läuft langsam. He walks slowly. Läuft schnell. He walks quickly. Yeah, that's extra though. But the adverbs and adjectives, they work the same way. They don't look differently. They don't add ly or anything like that. But they're both using the subject What if the subject was do? What would it look like then? Do wouldn't be laufst. You're close though. You're 2 dots off from being close. Perfect, I mean.
Oh, well, how do you say it if it's long?
Tell me someone. Someone just told me.
Do läuft langsam.
Läufst, right. Du läufst langsam. Du läufst schnell. Right, so läuft, du läufst. Sehr gut. Okay, now, this, I think I'm going to try to screenshot this actually. Because it gives, look at this here. Wish I could give you the video, right? Here's 2. Laufen and fahren are although one is going to have a different sound, oi sound. Fahren changes to that. Geben, nehmen. Again, nehmen's a little bit irregular, but I tell you all of it right here. Lesen und sehen. The E changes to an IE. So we've got more verbs than that here in this list. Essen, I think all the ones we have in this little thing. Essen, geben, nehmen, lesen, sehen, laufen, fahren, sprechen. And then, why do I only have 2 columns? Why don't I tell you about ich and wir and ihr? Why don't I have a whole bunch of columns like that? That's right. Say it one more time.
Always keep your followers partially in the dark.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. What do you think? Tell me what you said one more time.
Because they're all the same. Like,
right. So ich and wir, that doesn't matter. Like they just conjugate the same way, right?
Yeah.
But these are the only 2. These are the only 2 that are irregular, right? By the way, the ones that are green and black, it doesn't mean anything. It's just distinguish it from the last line. But yeah, these are the irregularities. Now, this is not obviously not a complete list. There are other irregular verbs, but this is a pretty good list right here, and I like the way this is kind of lined up here. So let me see if I can. How can I do that? That's not what I want. No. Come on. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Can you see it anymore?
No.
It's all gone. Okay. Where'd it go? Let me take this here. We'll just do this. There we go. Okay, I'm going to send this to all of you.
Yeti's going to do it here outside in a minute.
He might. You don't have any chance to find Bigfoot today. Okay. All right. So I'll send that to you guys later. It really could. Really could come crushing in any minute. All right, now let's look here with, I'll get, Cullen, I'll get you lined up here just in a second. Let me. All right. So I want to show you that list again in the textbook, which has a few more words on it than the one that we've been, so I just showed you, and I'm going to send you here in a little bit. That's too far. Okay. It's a good chart here I'm looking for. Here we go. So, duplicate, share this with Cullen. All right. So here below here, this is the chart. So that's got more words on it than the one I was going to send you, but I think I'm going to screenshot this also. So these are all ones that I'll just say both these right here. Laufen's the one we got to worry about. That's the one we're going to have. There's other verbs that do this, but Laufen's the one we've had so far. So these verbs all take A takes an umlaut, both these columns here. E to I, E to IE. There's some verbs we haven't talked about yet, like empfehlen, to recommend. We'll have these in vocab later. We haven't had stehlen, I don't think, to steal. Brechen, to break. Helfen? We had helfen? I think we have. Nehmen, we just talked about. Sprechen. Treffen, maybe not so much. To eat. Vergessen, to forget. Werden, to become. Werfen, to throw. Those all go E to I. And let me see if I can. Oops. That's not what I want. Maybe I can. There we go. Ooh, that's nice. Watch the magic happen. Look at that. Select crop. Save as JPEG. Irreg to. Send it to you later. Okay. Good. That's a good list there. All right, let's talk about something new. And if you'll turn the lights on for me, please. Wait. Let me get this off of here. Get back to the. All right. So we've only been talking about that. Let's talk about something different here, and that is the other part of this, which has to do with negation. How to be negative. Right? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you're right about that. Things like that. We're all good at being negative, right? So we know this word nicht. We've had nicht before along the first day of first week or so of school. Not. And nicht is used with verbs, with adjectives, and what we would call adverbs, but that's, that's, like I was saying, it's not, no difference there. To negate those things, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and maybe prepositional phrases too. Like if I say nicht, there's some sentence in front of this, nicht im Oktober. Okay, so that's not in October. So that might be something else too. That's how we use nicht, but whenever we want to negate a noun, that works a bit differently. I will say that, at least in American English, we tend to use the word not and we negate the verb. We say, I don't have that, or I don't have a TV, or I don't see anything going on, or I don't have any parents, or something like that. We use the I don't, or we don't, or you don't, and we're negating the verb have, just if that's the verb we're talking about, or the verb see, or the verb buy, or whatever. We don't buy pineapples. If it's possible in German to negate a noun, they'll negate the noun, which begins to sound more British English sounding. We buy no pineapples. We have no time. We have no money. I have no friends. I have no life.
Yeah, picking up on the social commentary from the textbook.
The thing is, you know, there's my private life and then there's my life here, and it's hard to really not let them mix a little bit sometimes, you know? Sometimes it just kind of comes flowing out, even through German grammar. It's crazy. Can't help it. How do we say that? How do we say, you know, if we were negating haben, you say, ich habe nicht. Usually that's going to be a bad way to start a sentence. Ich habe nicht, because whatever, there's going to be something that you're saying you have or that you don't have, and that thing you don't have is a noun, more than likely, right? And then you're going to negate that in a different way. So they don't use it to negate verbs or nouns, but verbs. So here's what we do though. Let's take some words here like, okay. I think it's not something I don't have. Because I have so much, you know. Let's say a Gartenzwerg. Yes. That's a new word. Or at least der Gartenzwerg. There we go. Well, we look at our chart here now. This all goes back to this, right? Everything's on the chart behind you there. Plural. We got a nominative. Sorry, we got nominative. We got accusative. And here's how I would say this. We have ein Gartenzwerg, masculine nominative. If it were a feminine word, eine. If it were a neuter word, ein. And if it were a plural word, we wouldn't worry about that right now because it can't be a plural form of ein. If it were a masculine word, like Gartenzwerg, it would become einen in the accusative. What would this be then? Einen would be, it's on the chart right now. It's all on the chart. Can you read it? Feminine accusative? It's in the fine print there.
Wait, there's one of that.
Yeah, and there's one on the side. Okay, that was harder to read, maybe.
Eyes.
This says eine. What would this be? No? They're all begin with EIN. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. The accusative feminine.
D.
Right, what's the little word there above D?
Yeah.
Eine. So it's the same. It's the same from nominative, right? What's above it? Eine, right? And what about neuter? What happens to neuter? Ein stays. I'm giving you the answer. Ein stays ein. And there's no way to talk about plural things that are singular. That makes sense. I can't say I have a cars. I have a computers at home. This is how spies used to get tricked up during the Cold War, you know. One little thing like that. They're like, nobody would ever say that. Where are you from, Ruski? All right, so now these are all positive things in the sense that they exist, or they're in your possession perhaps, or you see them, or so it's not negative. You say, oh, ich sehe, I see, whatever I see is accusative then, einen Gartenzwerg. Das ist ein Gartenzwerg. Feminine word, let's say Schulbank. Ich habe eine Schulbank. Das ist eine Schulbank. Neuter word, Auto. Ich habe ein Auto. Das ist ein Auto. Those are examples of accusative and nominative. Those are all positive, right? I see it, I have it, I'm buying it, whatever. And it's not a negative sentence. It doesn't have any negation in it. How do I then say, I have no school desk. I have no garden gnome. I'll show you. Are you ready? Brace yourselves. This is better than the video, the slideshow. Here's how I make the positive negative. I need some more room here. Back up, please. I need some more room. This man needs some air. I like when people say that. Like as if the crowd's like, preventing air from getting in. You know, that situation.
I mean, they are a pretty big CO2.
I mean, I think it's not going to affect the, anyway, forget that.
It's all got to go somewhere.
I guess so. Here we go. It's going to be real fast. I'm going to do this. New word.
My life has changed.
Yeah. No, it's like your baptism, and your kids get married, your own kids get baptized, your child's being born. There's a few, your parents celebrate a 50th anniversary, I don't know, whatever it is. And then there's going to be this moment. Because now ein becomes kind. Positive becomes negative. And there's a plural form of these words, because you can have not how can I say that? It's possible to lack multiple things. Like, I don't have 2 cars, yeah? I don't have any cars. I don't have any computers. It's possible to have, and that is kinda, just like the feminine, kinda and kinda. So now I can say, ich habe, another positive sentence, ich habe ein Auto. But if I don't have a car, don't worry. Just add a K to your sentence. I just took your car away. If you have one. Ich habe kein Auto. Ich habe ein Auto. Ich habe kein Auto. Don't negate the verb have. Negate the thing you don't have. If there's a noun to negate, negate the noun. Another one. Let's use a masculine word, like der Gartensverb. Ich kaufe einen Gartensverb. Can I abbreviate here? All right. That's some kind of a G. Ich kaufe einen, because it's masculine accusative. It's what I'm buying. But what if I'm not buying one? Ich kaufe keinen. Ich kaufe keinen Gartensverb. Einen becomes keinen. Positive, einen. Negative, keinen. Ich habe eine Freundin. What's a Freundin? What kind of friend? A girlfriend. Ich habe eine Freundin. Things don't work out. Ich habe keine Freundin. I just talked to you yesterday. You said du hast eine Freundin. Yeah, well, today's today. Ich habe keine Freundin. Happens like that, man. You know what I mean? Guys do it to girls too. Just like they're out, they're gone. Ich habe eine Freundin. Ich habe keine Freundin. Ich habe einen Gartenzwerg. Ich habe keinen Gartenzwerg. Ich habe ein Auto. Ich habe kein Auto. I have one. I don't have one. I have a Gartenzwerg. I don't have a garden gnome. Sorry. Hard to speak German and English at the same time. I have a girlfriend. We would say I don't have, right? Would you ever say I have no girlfriend? Would you ever say that? I have. That sounds more pitiful, doesn't it? It sounds sadder, right?
It's not like saying
I have no girlfriend.
I am devoid of a female companion.
Right, exactly. You can take it worse, but it sounds bad enough already. But and it's a sad enough statement anyway. But I don't have. I think we'd use it in English. I don't have. I thought we'd all use it in American English at least. I notice that a lot of these sound better. Like I have no car. That sounds more British sounding to me. I'm not sure why I think that or why I just from whatever you hear people speaking British English. And if someone said that, you know exactly what they meant, right? I mean, if a British person said I have no car, you'd say what? You wouldn't say it. You know what they mean. They don't have a car. Don't. There's your negative. Do not. There's your not. You tend to negate the verb in American English at least. Good. So and then let's say plural. Let's say du hast Freunde. I gotta put some space in here. This is plural though. Freunde. What are Freunde? Friends, plural. Du hast Freunde. Hm. But plural? Du hast keine Freunde. Mhm. You have no friends. Du hast keine Freunde. So kein means no, but not no like the answer to a yes/no question. What word is that? Look how similar they are. How do you say no? That's not true. How do I say no? Come on. Come on. Yes, no. Nine. Wow. Let's look at this. Let's analyze these two words. Pretty similar. That's not a coincidence. Nine is the answer to a question. The yes/no question. The opposite of yes. But kind, though, is the word we use to negate nouns. Now follow me here. And the same rules that we use with the indefinite articles, ein, eine, einen, are the same rules we do to negate those things. Just with a K in front of each word, though. So if we need to remember that, but we can go over it again, but it's also in the chart. It's in the blue lettering, isn't it? It's above the, can you see it on the chart there? It's above like the middle letter. So just above the E and there, it says ein, right? And above the D, above the I and D, it says eine, I bet, right? Is it in blue, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, that's the words I'm talking about. So you take those words and you put a K in front of them, and you've got kein, keine, keinen. Good. That's negative. Negative, negative. Yeah, nicht. Nicht or kein. That's the question. One other one here? Let me see. What's that?
I'm going to check the wind speed.
I know. I think we could fly a white mother's plane outside.
I think you could just tether it to the ground and it would fly itself.
Where's my? There it is. Okay. No. It's just this courtyard here kind of catches the.
Yeah.
Like it comes in over the top of the PAC and it just kind of swirls around in there. This is, as far as in your textbook goes, on 81, I think.
18 miles an hour.
Is that all it says?
Yeah.
Well, why is this not? Oh, here we go. Negation. Nicht, kein. It's all on page 82. So here's some examples of verbs where you would. Ich gehe in die Sporthalle. Ich gehe nicht in die Sporthalle. Die Spieler, like players, die Spieler sind hier. Die Spieler sind nicht hier. Now we're negating the word are, we're negating the word to go. That's fine. Those are verbs. But then, das Tennis, spielen Sie Tennis? Nein, wir spielen kein Tennis. I'll change. Hast du ein Hobby? It's das Hobby. Nein, ich habe kein Hobby. Another phrase I'll say, and I'll make this a bonus next time, is there's a word, die Ahnung. Ahnung, which is an idea. Not an idea like, I have an idea for an invention, not like it's different. This is an idea like, I don't know how to say it. It's a little more abstract, maybe, like, not a clue, yeah? No, I don't have any sense of what that it's about. You know, that kind of, I don't know. Exactly. That's where we're going. Thank you. So we know it's feminine, right? So what's going to be the word? Here's both, they're both the same. Keine. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Many times reduced simply to, same as English, keine Ahnung. If you say that, they assume that you've been talking about yourself. Keine Ahnung. No clue, no idea. Ask your question in class, keine Ahnung. taking a test, quiz, kind of on them. Not a clue, not a chance, not an idea. It's really the only time I really ever hear the word Ahnung ever used is in this phrase. I can't think of a situation where it would be used otherwise, other than a negative. Ich habe keine Ahnung. I have no idea. That's a good bonus. There's that on the page, 82. And then, I keep forgetting, I'm sorry, Colin, I keep forgetting to share the screen with you. I get all excited about this stuff. And you know how it is. You know how I am? All right, here we go now. So there's that. And then they talk, here's all the kind stuff. I know you can't see it well, but here's exactly what I have on the board there, but a little more cleanly drawn, or, laid out. Masculine, feminine, neuter, plural, nominative, accusative. Has to, and you can just go back and forth. Remember how I almost like give you points on things where I say like, make this statement into a question. So, du hast einen Fußball. And you wrote, hast du einen Fußball? Remember that? Be the same thing here. Be a thing like on the test or quiz or whatever. You say like, ich habe einen Fußball. Now make it negative. Ich habe keinen Fußball. Right? If you see einen, and you want to make it negative, you write down. You see einen, you write down. You see eine, you write down. You see ein, you want to make it negative, you write down. 3 points. Just put a K in there. Make it negative. Here we go. Hast du einen? Ich habe keinen. Ist das ein Stadion? Nein, das ist kein Stadion. That's not a stadium. Okay, this part here we won't talk much about. That's not really about negation. Okay, boy, that's a lot today. Oh my gosh, bells are ringing in it. Hey guys, covered a lot of ground today.
Good afternoon. You've had a good, enjoyable, and productive Saturday education.
7th hour. Oh, sorry.
And we end our day together in prayer. Let's offer this prayer for Augustinian vocation.